There's something strange about how people live now. They perform. All day. Every moment. Smile at strangers. Nod at what you don't agree with. Clap when you feel like walking away. No one wants to cause tension. No one wants to be disliked. No one wants to risk disapproval. But here's the quiet truth. Most aren't living their lives. They're auditioning. It's easier to be agreeable than it is to be authentic. Because authenticity has a cost. You'll lose people. You'll be misunderstood. You'll be called difficult, rude, cold, too much, or too little. And somewhere inside, many would rather be accepted than respected. Liked more than heard. Included more than understood. But being liked is never the goal. Niccolo Machiavelli said, "It is better to be feared than loved, if you cannot be both." Not feared with fists. Feared with firmness. With the kind of quiet clarity that makes people pause before they speak to you sideways. Not because you're cruel, because you're rooted. And in a world where everyone's busy pleasing, that alone is power. Everyone says they want to be respected, but most trade it for attention, or validation, or praise that disappears the moment you stop performing. But what if silence was stronger than clapping? What if boundaries were louder than compliments? Because here's the thing, respect doesn't come to those who seek approval. It comes to those who stand. Even if they stand alone, there's always that moment. That first time you say no. The air changes. Someone frowns. Someone questions you. And for a second you want to take it back. But you don't. And in that moment, something shifts. Not out there. Inside. That's the beginning of respect. Most walk through the first three without thinking. Approval. Comfort. Praise. The last one, respect, is guarded. Not by others. By your own fear. Fear of rejection. Fear of being alone. Fear of being called too much for simply being clear. But here's a strange twist. People remember the ones they couldn't sway. The ones who didn't flinch under pressure. The ones who weren't available to everyone because they belonged to themselves. Respect isn't loud. It doesn't beg. It doesn't chase. It just is. It's in the way you say no without guilt. In the way you stop explaining yourself. In how you show up for your values without checking who's watching. Being liked? That's easy. Anyone can play nice long enough to be liked. But respect? That's built in the spaces where most people fold. It's tempting to win people over. But what's the cost of being liked by everyone? You'll water yourself down until you taste like nothing. And even then, someone will still dislike you. So why waste energy twisting yourself to be digestible when you could be undeniable? The world makes room for the ones who don't shrink. It tests you first, to see if you'll beg for approval, or stand for principle. Every time you choose silence over honesty, people may like you more, but they trust you less. They might include you in their group, but exclude you from their respect. Because deep down even they know, anyone can be nice. Not everyone can be real. Respect is earned in solitude long before it's recognized in public. It's earned when you walk away from comfort. When you refuse to laugh along just to fit in. When you make peace with not being understood immediately. There's strength in the pause. Power in restraint. And authority in the words you don't say because they're not worth saying. Being liked may open doors, but being respected builds kingdoms. So, choose wisely. Because in the end, they won't remember who was the nicest in the room. They'll remember who never needed to be.